Welcome to the latest What Happens Next puzzle. I've selected a game from the Italian Team Championship 2012 to have a look at, and you can see straight away that white is actually the exchange down. He has a bishop and a pawn against a rook, so black has a slight material advantage. However, things aren't too bad for white because his pieces are so active. All pieces are active. He also has a very solid king position, 4 pawns in front of the king. That helps. That means he can generate activity without fearing that his king could be in trouble. And there are possibilities to take this pawn. So all in all, I think things should be okay for white here. And he played knight g6. Now, it's a slightly tricky move actually. If black were to take on b4, then rook d8 sets up some very interesting complications. I don't want to go into too detail. I want to look at a critical position later on, but suffice to say that black bottled it and played queen e6 instead, wanting to head for an endgame. Well, I understand that. White took, and that now means that there's another slightly weak pawn in black's position. But of course I'm sure black was relieved that the queens had been exchanged, so his king shouldn't be in any trouble. And white checked and took a second pawn, so now it's bishop and 2 pawns against a rook. So just on a basic material balance, then the position is actually even. But it's actually still very, very complicated. In positions of this kind, well, it can depend on lots of things. Who's better? The activity of the pieces, king position, pawn structure. I think this one is very finely balanced. Okay, rook b5 was played. Rook b1 behind the passed pawn. Now rook a2. I think there are good sides and bad sides to black's position. I mean, the bad side is, of course, that this rook is rather passive on b5, just blockading this pawn, and in fact could be perhaps driven away. The plus side is that he has a very active rook on a2, perhaps looking to attack f2 with the help of this knight at some point, either from g4 or sometimes from e4. So still a very double-edged position. Bishop f1, okay, logical, drive the rook away, and check. And then b5. So white is slowly advancing, so it seems as though white has made progress. However, knight e4, and black is gaining some activity here as well. And now white played knight c6 check. And it's this position that I'd like you to consider what you do next for black. What happens next? I'm going to give you 2 options. First option, king d6. And your second option to consider, king f6. It's a terribly simple choice, but one is better than the other. After this clip is over, you'll see a screen where there are 2 buttons, one with king d6 and one with king f6. Just click on one of those buttons, the one you'd like to play, and that'll take you through to the analysis where I'll talk through each move in turn. And you can see direct links also at the bottom of the screen. It'll take you through to each move. Okay, the very best of luck.